What if you turned on your TV and saw this?
This morning, dozens of inmates were given their get-out-of-jail-free card and then literally came running out.
Or called the police and heard this.
You have reached the Josephine County Sheriff's Office. Due to limited staffing, we are unable to answer your call.
If they have an emergency and they have to call 911, they might not get a response.
What if the institutions you count on for safety and security suddenly disappeared?
If you had your car stolen, you want the police to come and take a report. They don't take reports.
The power company came out to fix the pole that the person hit and found the body that had been ejected from the car.
It sounds like the plot for another Hollywood blockbuster about the apocalypse, but this is really happening. In Josephine County, Oregon, population 83,000, a libertarian's paradise.
Is it the Old West? In a lot of ways it is. People move here, out into these outer areas. They don't want to be bothered by other people.
You know, this is Oregon. Everybody's got a gun. It's just the way it is. They're in the law.
Here, the Second Amendment is gospel, and stand your ground is a birthright.
I certainly wouldn't advise an outsider to come in here and challenge anybody. The people here are not going to be pushed around.
Mistrust of the federal government runs deep here. It's ironic then that for decades, the majority of the county's revenue came from federal timber subsidies. And when these subsidies dried up in 2012, the loss of revenue hit many municipal budgets hard.
Well, in 2012, our budget was about a $12 million budget. We went down to about a $5 million budget. I laid off 65% of my personnel. That took us down to a 1 8-hour shift, 5 days a week.
Now people here are getting a real taste of what small government America might really look like, whether they like it or not.
We're coming out here for a report of an assault that occurred last week at the store down the road here. It was a brother versus a brother, adult brothers.
Yes, sir, officer, sir. Is the hands behind my back? What did I do, sir?
Did you and your brother get in a fight last week?
No, it was my other brother.
Your other brother?
My full brother.
What's his name?
Jesse Peterson.
Jesse?
Jesse, yeah.
Where's Jesse now?
He went back to Idaho.
He did? The suspect brother has apparently fled to Idaho. In a typical staffed world for us, we'd be on it within the hour that it came in, but you know, we get to it when we can get to it. And that just brews anger on his behalf. You know, I mean, why should you get punched in the face and wait a week for the cops to show up?
The area now has a backlog of hundreds of calls and dozens of unsolved crimes.
Jared was 21 years old when he died.
Sarah Houston's brother Jared was killed by a hit-and-run driver.
Whoever the driver was hit them and never braked, never swerves, never stopped, never, you know, almost like they hit a squirrel on the side of the road and just kept driving.
It's stories like this that have inspired some in the well-armed community to take matters into their own hands.
North Valley Community Watch.
We're coming in. Show us your hands.
Hands up.
Ken Seelig, a former sheriff's deputy, started a community watch group and gives weekly training sessions for a dozen or so volunteers.
We stand between you and the potential threat of danger.
If you call the police and get an answering machine, your next call might be to these guys, Ken and his responder team, a group of armed civilians who attend Ken's training sessions.
Stay right there.
And this is people protecting their community, and they're passionate about what they do, and so it's emotional for them. And then, you know, you get your emotions involved in something. It only takes a split second for that to go too far, and then you have something regrettable happening.
The concern, of course, is that the Citizens Patrols might start delivering their own brand of vigilante justice.
Yes, we carry sidearms, but they're used as a last resort to protect ourselves and the people that we set out to protect. And if the bad guy doesn't push the issue to the extreme, nobody has anything to fear.
The Sheriff's Department is asking for a tax increase of almost $270 per resident.
Next year, we think we're probably going to end up closing our doors. Whatever that means at this point, I don't know. But we're broke.
But raising taxes in these parts, it's political suicide.
What's the secret? I don't know. I would have said more lives have to be lost, but we've lost lives, and it's not changed.